And we're on the drip. Definitely had a problem with the carbs, which is why it wasn't running very well. I think it's got to be to do with the floats, and looking at this one, I thought that was set right, and it's obviously a million miles out. Things that are new. These two were leaking a little bit of fuel out of the breather, so it looks like the float heights may be set so they're a little bit too high. These two didn't seem to be getting very much fuel at all, so it looks like, and that one definitely looks wrong, so I'm going to reset them again, be very careful, and see how I go on. Now, the interesting thing is, I've seen lots of different things about setting float heights. Measurements from the gasket face against the pilot jet. I'm just going to do it from what I've seen. These ones must be nearly right because it's running. So I think that they're perhaps just set to let a little bit too much fuel in, and that's why it's leaking. So I'm going to just tweak them a little bit, and then I'm going to match the other two to them. Can't hurt, can it? So this one's set at 14.83 thereabouts. I know it was leaking slightly, so I'm going to actually put them to 15 on this one, and I'll match them to 15 along the way. The two that weren't getting any fuel, now that one I can see is massively up. This one doesn't appear to be, so I'm going to check the seats and make sure that fuel can actually get through to here, because it doesn't look like they've had fuel at all so far. Right, looking in there, I can see there's some crud, which is very disappointing knowing how hard I've worked on cleaning these. Maybe it's come through from the fuel tank. I've set all of the floats now to 15 millimeters. I believe they should be 14.5, but when I measured them on the ones that were leaking, they were about 14.5, 14.6, and I just felt that giving them an extra half millimetre might stop them leaking. I've also cleaned through the jets with air and with brake and clutch cleaner, blowing air through. They all seem fine now. So I'm going to put them back together, try them on the bike. The best bits of videos never get made, do they? There was a backfire that caused a bit of the fuel that was leaking to catch light, and this is just some of the carbon from the yellow flames from that. Didn't get it on video, but there's the evidence of my own stupidity. Good job we had the fire extinguisher to hand. Woo! Hot. little bit fed up now. Keep getting a drip from 2 of the carbs. I've chased the float levels up. I've gone from 40 now to 15, 15 now to 16, and it's the same too. The floats do seem okay, although I'll be honest, I haven't checked them properly by putting them in hot water to see if they bubble, but they haven't got fluid in them. I'm wondering if the pipe, the vent pipe's got a crack in it. I might look at that next. But I really thought this is going to be it now. Got it running on 4 cylinders okay, but I'm still, this is faffing me off, let me tell you, big style. But got it a bit of a drip. I've got the choke on, let me put the ignition on. I'm pretty sure it'll start. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll start. Let's have a go. Probably not first thing. There you go, it will start. Feel the what's it's running on all of them. Definitely something wrong with those 2 plugs. So I'm going to give it another dose of looking at. Oh dear, God, it's annoying. Right, investigating these carb problems. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make sure that the float bowls will hold fuel without leaking. So I'm just going to fill them up. Right, I can leave them for a while and let's see if they actually leak. There shouldn't be anything underneath whatsoever. And to be honest, I can instantly see that there is a problem. Which says to me that either the drain plugs are not working right, or there's an issue with the actual tubes. And the tubes don't look too groovy, they don't look horrendous, but maybe they've got splits in them. Just going to leave it a little bit longer. But I think I've found that problem. despite my seemingly incompetent soldering, it does look like the solder has wicked into the either cracks or into where it joins into the body in the way that I'd hoped. It certainly doesn't look to be leaking at this test, so I'll have to try the other one and hopefully I'll get the same result. Well, the other one seems to be holding good as well, so it was worth a try soldering the joint into the actual float bowl. I think there might have been a crack in one as well, but it's so difficult to see. I did this more out of let's give it a go rather than expecting it to work, but it seems to have worked a treat, which is absolutely brilliant. Right, get the carbs back together and get them on the bike again. That's the carbs back on. I've hooked up some fuel, turn it on, let's see if we get the drip. Lovely fuel going all the way through now. Those are the two. Going down, filling up the float chambers. Probably filling up the cylinder barrels, but I hope not. And we're on the drip. Well, it's not dripping. That's the level that the auxiliary tank stopped at. I'm not going to start the bike now. I'm going to leave it overnight and come back and have another look tomorrow. It might still drip when it starts, but at the moment it looks like I've cured the float bowl and the float saga. So I think I'm pretty happy now that I've got the float bowls holding fuel and not leaking it all out. I know the carbs are still not set up right, and it'll be a while before I can get to that. Not really worth doing it while I haven't got the airbox on and I haven't got the exhaust I'm going to use, so I'll save that for the future. What I'm thinking of doing now is getting on and perhaps doing compression tests and leak down tests to make sure the engine is as sound as I think it seems to be. If you've enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Why not subscribe, because I'll be getting up to something else again soon.